Greetings everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about and showing off my newest rifle, my Kar98 K from 1945. Now that's going to take some people aback, like you own a 1945 last ditch, because it is the last ditch Mauser. That's scary. You shouldn't shoot that. I just did. I shot 19 rounds through it, and I found out that this thing hits very, very, very low. That is unacceptable. So what I'm going to be doing, now don't freak out. This already has been drilled and tapped back here. Presumably because the last owner, or a few last owners maybe, saw that this thing hit super low and they're like, okay, I gotta fix this with a peep sight, and they did. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get a peep sight for this because I want to shoot this Mauser. Now, how does 8mm Mauser feel when it recoils? It's not bad. It's a bit more than 7.7 by 58 Japanese, but it's not, it's not crazy. Like my shoulder doesn't hurt. I mean, I only shot 19 rounds through this thing. And yeah, I am flabbergasted at how low this thing hits. And it's not just low, but the sights are also off. And every time it shoots, this rear sight moves. This takes absolutely no effort to move, and, so let me actually show you some of the markings if the camera will actually pick that up, because this thing actually has some kind of cool markings on it. So firstly, you can see there that it has in fact been drilled and tapped. Not a bad job, actually. It's actually a fairly decent job. This rifle also has many markings, so you probably will not be able to see it on camera, but I will get a photo on camera if you can't see it. And if I can't see it through editing, I'll get photos of it. This rifle actually has Bad Mustache Man's political party on it. It is also marked, this is useless, you can't actually see it, but on the receiver here, right here, it is marked SVWMB. That apparently means something along the lines of French capture. It's a cool rifle. It has a decent trigger in it. It's kind of a long trigger, but it's not a heavy trigger. The bolt is also pretty dang good. So to take the Mauser bolt out, you just pull it back, and there's a tab here. This is very similar to the Arasaka. And then the bolt just comes right out. You're supposed to be able to take these bolts apart. I cannot take this thing apart. It's very unfortunate. The ammo I was using was PPU, 196 grain soft points. That's all I could find. So there's that very positive click there, and it locks open on an open mag. Got your stripper clip feed lips here. I will eventually get stripper clips. And the trigger, as you can see, it's kind of long, but it really isn't heavy. My Mosin still has probably the best trigger of my rifles. I even think it has a better trigger than the RDB. Not by much, though. It's pretty cool. The Bad Mustache Man's political party is also on the front sight, way up here, which you will never be able to see on camera. So this thing also weighs about 8 pounds. It's a bit of a dense rifle, but it is fairly nice. It's just a last-ditch Mauser. If this was a Yugo Mauser or a 1940s Mauser, this thing would probably be zeroed. It would probably, well, it may or may not be zeroed. It would at least not shoot super, super low. Keep in mind, how low am I shooting? How low? Well, at 50, I put the sight on the dot, the center, and it's not hitting the paper. That low. Holy crap. It's probably just due to these sights being wildly off because, again, this rifle was made during the time where Berlin and Germany in general was being invaded. Just, you had the Russians on one side, the Americans and the British on another, and the Italians are also mad, and they're in there as well. They're at this point, I think they sided with the Allies. I don't really know my World War II history super, super well, but, other than that, there's no damage to it other than the stock being kind of weird. All the metal looks good. It's just... And also the safety works. This has a goddamn safety. So how the safety works, you have to cock it. You put it up here like this, and then you can still run the bolt, but it doesn't want to close. And then if you put it all the way over, which you're not really supposed to, I think, then you can't really, move the bolt at all. So if I can, do that. This actually locks the bolt. This is a good safety. It's very positive. It's very tough. Very good. My Mosin does not have a safety. It does, but it might as well not, because the safety on the Mosin is very, very difficult to use. You have to pull it back and then move it over. The Arasaka safety is also sort of the same way. Now, why am I not cleaning this? I will clean it later. I just don't want to do a cleaning video on it because it's a bolt action rifle. I've done 2 cleaning videos on 2 bolt actions before. Now, would I rather have anything else other than this? Well, if it was going to still be a Mauser, I would want a earlier war Mauser. Also, you might be wondering, does this thing throw fireballs? There were no fireballs. There was kind of a puff of smoke, and you could definitely see heat every time it fired, but it wasn't like, a flamethrower. I was expecting this thing to be a flamethrower, honestly. Maybe it's just because of the ammo I'm using. Maybe some ammos are fireballs, some aren't. The ammo's $1.20 a round. That's a bit of an ouch, but it's a lot cheaper and more available than 7.7 Japanese, which is a good thing. Anyway, that's my Mauser. It's really unfortunate that I'm going to have to put an aperture sight on this because I want to be able to shoot this thing and not have to aim up like crazy. If it was hitting really, really high, that would not be a big problem, because then I could supposedly you're able to take off this right here, but it looks like it's either been spot welded on or, I don't know, crimped on really, really good or something, and you're supposed to be able to move the front barley corn over. You're supposed to be able to do that. But whatever. I do like the sight picture. It's a nice sight picture. The front post is a little thin, but it's not that bad. For sights, I think the Arasaka has the most fine sights. It has an aperture and a barley corn, and the Mosin also has a very nice sight picture. Better than all the others because it's a nice wide field of view. Advantages and disadvantages with that. It's the same thing with the SKS. So yeah, I traded my Marlin for this. I did not buy it, I traded for it. Now, some people might be screaming at me, how could you do such a thing? The Marlin is a superior rifle. I like old guns. I like World War II weapons. It's just part of me. I like it. I really should have haggled and see it so if I could have gotten that Springfield 1903 A4. Or was it A3? A3 is a sniper rifle, right? I forget. A lot of, A's and B's and C's and D's with, nomenclature, but blah, blah, blah. If this was an SMLE or any other sort of Lee Enfield, that'd be cool too. But it's a Mauser. A pretty good Mauser. There is no place to put a bayonet on it, though. A little unfortunate, but, it's, you could still do Mordhau with it, so you don't know what Mordhau is, it means murder stroke. Anyway, so cool rifle. It's just unfortunate that the rear sight, every time it shoots, it throws it forward, not that far, but like throws it like that, and it just hits very, very, very high, or low. No, it shoots super low. My bad. The sights are super high. Or whatever. It's off. It's very off. So rear sight aperture incoming on this rifle, and then I'll get that zeroed, and then that'd be that. I don't think a rear aperture is going to look very odd on this thing. It's not going to interfere with the bolt at all because it's on a piece where it's not moving. And yeah, that's all I really had to say about the Mauser Kar98 K. If you can find one that is not late war, then I would recommend it. 8mm Mauser can be kind of annoying to get your hands on. There is rimmed 8mm Mauser. Do not use that in a rifle like this. It won't even feed properly, probably. It's like using throw-it in a Mosin Nagant. Don't do it. I'm only going to say this one more time. Do not use throw-it in a Mosin Nagant. You're going to break the rifle and probably hurt yourself. Guess where the chamber is? It's near your face. And guess what happens when that blows up? Do the math. Be careful out there. Don't hurt yourself. And take care of Mosin Nagants. Come on. take care of these old rifles too. Also, I'm going to put a clear coat of lacquer, you know, a nice clear coat of lacquer over this to protect the wood during the springtime because I live in Maryland. It gets very humid, and it's just a good idea. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to redo the clear coat on my Mosin as well because on parts of it, it's starting to become just bare wood. Anyway, all that being said, very nice rifle. It's a late war that's actually safe to shoot. I would totally shoot this all day, every day if I could afford the ammo and if I had stripper clips. I do not have clips. I will eventually. So yeah, rear aperture incoming on this. I'm sorry to the Mauser aficionados, but there's no way I could get these sights zeroed with it shooting so low. Maybe I would have to completely replace the front and rear sight. Maybe I could do that, but no, I want an aperture sight. Also because this is doing that. Also, 2,000 yards or meters with 8mm Mauser out of a short barrel? No way. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed this little look over of my Mauser and all of the, you know, interesting little numbers on it and all the little symbols. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, in Trilby, we trust.